All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Elite Talk Show. I am your host out of Syracuse, New York, the mean queen, Sarah Visick, and
Hey,
joining me.
oh, sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm Orlando from Fort Lauderdale. We have a lot to talk about, so I think we should need to get started. So,
And AEW has been hot, hot, hot lately. Don't you agree?
oh yeah, it has been, and they're the talk of the town, talk
Mm-hmm.
of the world.
Last night's viewership kind of proves it. Third week in a row, over a million viewers, 1.1 million. Fight for the
Hmm.
Fallen, great show.
Yeah.
Proceeds getting donated to a local Charlotte charity for domestic abuse. Uh,
Hmm.
let's also talk about what's going to be hot next month. As you can
Yeah.
see here, we got a couple shows. Uh,
Yep. A lot of pay-per-views coming up. You know, oof. My bank account. My bank account.
I mean, you can see Rampage starts. We got GCW, No Signal in the Hills. I don't know where
Hmm.
that's coming from. I haven't really looked, but if it's in the hill source and they lose signal, that's on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they have that issue before. Like they lost signal for a moment and then they came back.
I think so. One of their last couple ones, I
Uh,
believe so.
I I think Joey will probably like realize, okay, we need to bring like extra power and extra Wi-Fi's to.
Mm. They're getting popular. They're getting to the point of where PWG was a few years ago. They're the hottest indie right now. So
Mhm. Well, you know what? It was smart of them to have Nick Cage then on the show last night
mhm.
because now like everybody's talking about him ever since with the whole Matt Cardona, and now he had a match with Chris Jericho. He's a hot
Yeah,
thing right now for the indie circuit.
is he the hottest name on the indies right now? Do you think?
I think so. Uh-huh. Because I don't
Mhm.
know anybody else like from the indie circuit besides him, because like he had the Dark Side of the Ring episode, and
Yeah.
then like he had that feud with Matt Cardona, which is smart because like Matt Cardona is like he's known because of WWE and he's been doing like different TV deals. So, you know, I can't really
Yeah.
think of anybody like right now in the indie circuit really.
I mean,
But
you got
doesn't like
those. I mean, you got Danhausen. He's a hot name as well.
but he's in Ring of Honor, isn't he? Or he's
I think he's done a couple shows with Ring of Honor. I'm not
yeah.
100% sure.
Hmm. Yeah. But I'm like saying like this is like his first kind of like TV show. Like
Yeah.
like nobody knows like you have to like go into like YouTube or go into like GCW to get some of his like matches.
Mhm.
Which I have to say like I love hardcore wrestling back in the day, but I think because I got used to like how they did hardcore wrestling now, I don't think death matches are for me. You know.
Some can get pretty brutal. I've seen some pretty brutal ones. I
Hmm.
think the one last night was just the right mix of hardcore, but taken to an extreme, but not going way overboard.
Right. Like because it reminded me like I think I saw a match of Mick Foley that was like in Japan that was kind of like that, but it had exploding barbed wire. I think it was.
Yeah. Yep.
Ugh, that was brutal. Like I think it was him versus what was his name? We just talked about him a month or so ago. He was in ECW. Oh, Terry. No, Terry Funk, right?
Yes. Yep.
Terry Funk. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, yeah. So just yeah. Mm-mm. I don't know. Like, look, I'm not gonna like shame anybody. I'm not Meltzer, to shame people that love death matches. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. Like, you're like the mark of like, loving like the Bucks and stuff. Come on, Meltzer, do better.
The great thing about wrestling nowadays, and the fact that we have such a wide variety of ways to get wrestling,
Uh
there's
huh.
something there for everybody. You got women-only promotions. You
Hmm.
got a bunch of deathmatch specialties. You can find pretty much anything you want as far as wrestling.
Exactly. But right now, like a lot of the different companies besides WWE are getting involved with each other, so we're going to see a mixture of all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that way, maybe like maybe a fan, like like just say like they don't know who Nick Cage is, and they're interested in his match, they will probably Google him, and then they'll find in Fight TV. So
Find
that
a
will
lot.
create. So look, it's a smart business decision because it's variety for everybody. more opportunities, more.
Mhm.
It helps the business grow. That's what we want.
And also, too, I mean, I shared earlier the picture of Jericho after the match last night. You know,
Yeah.
not as brutal as you'd expect. You can see a
No.
bunch of the dried up blood, a couple cuts, but nothing too bad.
Yeah. I think maybe like it's been a while since he bladed, so I don't know. Because like, like he was in that era where they bladed themselves, so I don't
Mhm.
know if like because like he's been in the WWE system, so it's been a while, so
Yeah, and then
yeah.
they stopped, so if you want to bleed, you gotta do it the hard way, pretty much.
Exactly. Like look at Mike Cordova. I don't think he's ever bled in his life until that death match.
I mean,
I
if you look at the
I'm
before when he went down the ring, he's got that white tank top, and if you look and see
yeah.
the after, oh, he wore a pink tank top. Nope, that's
Yeah, he
blood.
was wearing white pants and it was like pinkish. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I was like, damn. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, look, I'm happy for him. Like, he deserves it. Like, being in WWE system probably didn't help him, and he got himself over now in a new way, So
Mhm.
I'm glad for his opportunity that he's getting that Cardona.
Let's Thankfully, Jericho wasn't injured, but there was one injury on the show last night. It was pretty obvious, especially if you looked, at the news sites. Cash Wheeler suffered a really bad cut on his arm. He couldn't get it to stop bleeding. Update is that he is okay, which is a really bad cut. Nothing
Hmm.
serious, thankfully.
Yeah.
We saw the way it looked
I,
wrestling, you thought maybe he would have hit an artery or something, but thankfully
yeah.
not the case.
Hmm. I was really enjoying the match. It's just unfortunate that the FTR always gets like an injury or something affects them that they can't really go 100%. I just, uh,
Mhm.
you know, like, but like, maybe they'll face each other again down the line. So I don't think it's over between them two because I think they're gonna go at it one more time. So
Yeah, I think so. I think there's definitely going to be when one of those two teams gets the titles, they're going to feud again, which would be great. They put on a great match last
it,
night.
it better be Santana Ortiz. They deserve it. I'm just
Mhm.
saying.
They definitely did.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So let's talk about the uh, wow, the U.S. title match last night, the UWGP U.S. title match last night. Um, I know I'm going to butcher his name. Hedaleku, is that how you
I
say his
think
name?
I think it's Hiralaiko, something like that. Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, he's a big dude. I mean, I was
Hmm.
like, he's like as tall or taller than Lance. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
This was the weaker match in my opinion. You know, it
It
was
still was
just
still a decent match, I thought.
yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I think because like it came after the with the tag match, the
Yeah.
crowd died because of that. Which you know what, like last night's episode, in my opinion, it affected me because when Paige lost, it affected me
Yeah.
throughout the whole match, throughout the whole show. You
Hmm.
know, I was happy to see Thunder Rosa like get a win. I'm not into Brian Cage as a face, not yet. It's growing on me.
We'll see.
And yeah, in this title match, I'm just, it's,
And how about King Haku, being in his son's corner? That can't make Vince too
I did
happy.
not know that was his son. I was like,
Mhm.
oh. And then he took out Lance Floyd during the commercial break. I was like, oh, he got
I,
some moves still.
I knew he was in the Samoan family. I just couldn't remember exactly how.
I think
But
he's
there you
married to
go.
one of the sisters. I don't remember.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh, he's there.
yeah, yeah, he is.
And speaking of, New Japan wrestlers, uh, John Moxley teasing he's not done, with the Forbidden Door stuff,
Yeah.
teasing, a match with Tanahashi, that he's avoiding him. Do we get Moxley and Tanahashi at all out, you think?
I think so. I mean, Moxley's promo, he was pissed. He was just like, how's these people coming into the States, but I can't go over there? Like, and they
Yeah.
have the Olympics over there. It's like, which he
I mean,
makes. He's
good
big.
point.
I know. I mean, like, come on now. Um, I think they're probably gonna yeah, I'm thinking they have to have that type of match on All Out just to at least give attraction to New Japan because
Mm-hmm.
at least like so AEW could still keep a good relationship with them, New Japan.
Yeah,
So
definitely
yeah,
agree.
so yeah, because I'm just wondering who's gonna take that title away now from Lance Archer.
I think it'll definitely be somebody from New Japan. I don't see it bouncing
Like,
back and forth between a lot of US guys.
do you think Okada would be the good fit for the title? Because I heard like they want Okada to come, which I don't. I mean, I would love that because I know the Bucks talks highly about him,
Mhm.
especially in their book. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
definitely can see that. Yeah, we'll see who's in the title picture coming up.
hmm yeah.
Let's get to another juicy tidbit last night from the show. There was a couple teases for none other than CM Punk. I know that Darby Allin, after Tony Khan's announcement that I believe it's episode 2, it's going to be of Rampage from Chicago, United Center. CM Punk saying, he's ready to take on all challengers, even if you think you're the best in the world. I don't know if you caught it. Young Bucks used one of CM Punk's signature moves, that running high knee into the corner, into the bulldog.
But they always do that move though. They always do it. Like I've seen them do it before, but yeah, they really did it tonight. And of course, at the end of the show, MJF kind of used a bit of Punk's promo, like pipe bomb promo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what a ballsy move that they're doing because they're doing it the night before SummerSlam. That's like it's like this, like fuck
Mm-hmm.
you, Vince.
Oh yeah.
Look, okay. Hold on for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You may have to cut that out. Um,
That's fine.
okay, so what I'm thinking about CM Punk is this. I don't know how I feel yet. How do you feel about it? I don't know.
See, it's knowing that there's about a decade I didn't really watch, and CM Punk's career fell within that decade. So I don't
hmm
really have much exposure with CM Punk. I've seen a couple of matches, going back on replays, but that's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. Like I watched his career when he first started. When he first started, unfortunately, it was when they were transition. It was in that time frame where Eddie died, and then Chris Benoit had that murder suicide. So he was in that time frame, you know. And then, of course, when the whole investigation was happening on Chris Benoit, of course, that's when the whole steroids and the drug abuse was happening, where they had to suspend a lot of their talent, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
but of course, CM Punk, he's like that straight edge. He doesn't do anything. Like they try to push him, as one of their top guys because they had him featured in a. I remember they had him featured in a news feed or something. So I just don't know. Like I don't know if it's because his attitude or something. That's why it didn't work out. And that's why, like with that pipe bomb, I mean, like it was truthful, but it was out of anger, and he was still angry throughout that time. Because
Yeah.
technically I think like if it would have succeeded his 2011 2012 run, I think he would have probably been okay with. I think he probably would have retired after that, like just literally retired. I don't know. Like to me, I know for a fact he's gonna come probably with either anger. I would love it that where he'll get emotional because like the crowd is cheering for him for like 5 minutes, and then he sees around people applauding, chanting his name and stuff. I would love to see that. It will probably will happen, of course, but you know,
I
I
mean,
just don't know.
that first promo when
Yeah,
he comes back is
yeah,
going to be fire.
exactly, exactly. I mean, I hope it's fire. I hope it's not just a like fuck you Vince, excuse my language, like fuck you Vince, fuck WWE, of course because that's a common thing now, like look,
Yeah.
I get it, like WWE sucks, okay, so what, like you're showing them that you're better than that, but I mean, for me, I'm hesitant. I'm waiting just to see if it will happen, you know, and uh
Mm-hmm.
I hope he brings his wife though. because AJ Lee, I think she's very much needed in AEW's women's division, and I think she would probably work very well there, in my opinion.
So I'm not sure what her interest is. I know CM Punk was one of the first couple guests on Renee Paquette's podcast, and he said that she had a couple other projects going on. I feel like we can't remember exactly what they were. We'll have to look into it and maybe talk about it more next week. But
Well, I found out that she was a writer and she was writing for the what was that movie that Keanu Reeves did with the three Ronin? I think it was 13 Ronin, something like that.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing the sequel to it. So,
Okay.
so I think she's now just a writer because she did write a few books. So I think she even talked about it. Like I think she didn't like she enjoyed her experience because she was the top like talent in WWE at her time, but I think they didn't like how they used her because it was because she was bipolar or she had a mental health issue, and they kind of
Mhm.
used that as like in a storyline in a sense. But I mean, you never know. Maybe if she goes backstage and then she sees the girls, and maybe she'll help out, and maybe she'll come
Yeah,
back. I don't know.
we'll
You know,
see. I mean, if she only has to work
you know.
one night a week, that's pretty enticing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, it's just like I'm happy for CM Punk to at least come back because I think he deserves at least a good bow down himself, not in the way that how he bowed down from
Hmm.
WWE, because he did it out of anger. And I think maybe AEW will help him maybe get his passion back and maybe he'll retire gracefully and respectfully, you know? So we'll see.
Yeah. Let's get back to Jericho a little bit. We've seen the first two labors. The third one announced for next week. Um,
The
Juventud
juice,
Guerrero.
the juice is coming back.
I mean, interesting stipulation. The first one to pull a move off the top rope. I wonder if it's, I wonder if this can be a specific move or just any move off the top rope. This
Well,
match could end
well,
pretty quick.
yeah, but no, because I think because Jericho doesn't really do a lot of high flying moves. Not anymore. So
Right.
that's why he's being a dick and be like, oh, you got to do a high flying move. And I bet you will probably say, what's the high flying move?
Yeah.
So yeah. So, but I'm just hoping it's not like a really crazy move that Jericho can actually pull off, you know?
Like a split-legged moonsault or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, something easy for him to do to at least like because he's gonna win.
Yeah.
That's the point of this. Like
And
all of these five
it's going to be like an Eddie Guerrero style frog splash that he uses to win.
oh, okay, that's good. I wouldn't mind
Hmm.
that. Or maybe do an homage to Chris Benoit do a headbutt. That's still a high flying move,
Yeah.
you know.
Let's do a little fantasy booking here at the moment. Who do you hope the last two labors are? What do you think it could be?
You know what? I was thinking, like one rumor is Lance Storm, which I like that idea, so say Lance Storm. The
Mhm.
other one, David Benoit. Because
Hmm.
something they have been saying that David Benoit wants to wrestle. He hasn't really had a wrestling match yet, and
Yeah.
Chris Jericho is really good friends with him, and he helped him
Yeah.
out with the whole Dark Side of the Ring and stuff. So I wouldn't mind.
I mean, he's been training from what I understand, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's like every now and then training. Like he hasn't really posted a lot on Instagram. I don't know, like maybe he got tired of like posting and stuff. Maybe he's
Hmm.
like really in depth in training. So for me, I think David Benoit would be interesting. That would be a unique kind of twist. Be like,
You know what? If he does do the Chris Benoit headbutt first line move, then I think he could be onto something.
hmm exactly.
Um, I know for me, I know it was kind of joking earlier, having Big Show be one of the levers, because of the Jerry Show.
Of
You know,
course.
me, maybe have it being like a body slam contest, who can body slam the other person first.
Yeah, exactly.
WrestleMania 3 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course he's gonna be a dick and be like, "Yeah, you got to body slam Paul White. Go ahead."
Yeah, that would be a good one. Of
hmm
course, having another cage match, and of course against Wardlow, he'd be in every cage match yet again. I mean, that could be
hmm
very interesting. Maybe that
Yeah.
starts to turn
No, I
Wardlow.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wardlow deserves another. Like, I don't know if they want to give Wardlow another loss because he already lost to Jake Hager. So I don't know if they want to do that again. So so
I
I
mean,
don't
if,
know.
maybe if it comes with a giant push afterwards, we'll
Hmm.
see.
I mean, if MJF wants to be a real dick, I mean, he could put like Sammy Guevara versus Chris Jericho.
Hmm.
Be like, yeah, inner circle versus inner circle. Could you imagine that? Like, yeah, it'd be like this bastard, this dick. I can't wait for Chris Jericho to beat you.
Uh, Cody Rhodes did an interview with Inside the Ropes magazine, and it was brought up, which uh, old school legend would he want to have a match with? And I'll give you one guess. We can figure out who he wants to have a match with before they retire.
Sting, of course.
Of course, he's expressed in the past that he wants to have a match with Sting before Sting finally, hangs up his boots for good. So that's what he said
Hmm.
in the magazine. I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah, he said something, I think, in another interview that Sting isn't the most friendliest or well kept. I forgot what it was. Like, I think it was like the most treated, well company that he's ever worked for. So throwing
Mm-hmm.
shade to, of course, WCW, WWE, and uh, throw shade to like TNA, WCW, and you know all those places that he used to work for.
Yeah. So we got a couple of matches announced for next week. AEW Homecoming, already going back to Jacksonville. We have an AEW TNT Championship match, Miro against Lee Johnson.
Rest in peace, Lee Johnson. You're gonna get destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Um, there's that number one contenders match, Layla Hirsch against the Bunny. This one is kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
but it's for the NWA title though.
The end of it, yes, sorry. NWA
So
Women's title.
so right there, like Mickey James is her empowerment pay-per-view is getting some notoriety. So
Mm-hmm.
look at that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Of course, she invited Deanna Perrazzo to be on, and of course, she accepted. So that'll be interesting.
Hmm. Yep. Can't wait.
And of course, the other match announced for next week, one that we're all looking forward to, as long as it's booked correctly, Malachi Black against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody put up a theory though. They're saying like, what happens if Malachi Black wins and it forces Cody to turn heel?
Hmm.
Which is interesting because like if you notice like from last night, he got cheers. Like you heard a bit of cheers for Malachi Black,
Yeah.
you know? So he's gonna be like, these fans, you're turning on me after what I've done, giving you AEW, like he could throw that in their faces
Oh
and
yeah.
be an asshole, which I think that would be unique.
It could be, the double switch. Malachi is supposed to come in as a heel, Cody as the face, and then the crowd reaction could force him to, switch it up there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm just wondering if they're gonna do that. But you know what? I hope Malachi Black wins because like I don't think he no, I don't I hope he didn't agree to lose this match.
Yeah.
And I hope Tony Khan puts his foot down, be like, no, Malachi Black is going over on this match. So I'm just saying, I think a lot of people are gonna get pissed with you, AEW, if you decide to have Cody Rhodes win. I mean, look at what happened with the crowd when you got Hangman lose. The
Mm-hmm.
crowd lost its momentum and its heat. I'm just saying.
Typically, I think what I've noticed, I could be wrong on this. I think Cody will put people over if it's on Dynamite, but I think when it's the pay per view, that's when Cody wins. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. Like Cody Rose is not doing it for me anymore. I don't know. Like maybe I need him to change and be a heel, and maybe I would be invested. But like no, what irked me with the whole Patriot type of like promo he did. So it's just like at this time with like this climate that we're in America, come on,
Mhm.
you know, this is I don't. whatever. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I
One of the other interesting storylines is not really getting a lot of attention is Andrade trying to recruit the Lucha Bros. Do you think
well,
he
maybe he's
goes and
recruiting
rips them
all three of
off?
them, or maybe he's recruiting all three of them. You never know. Maybe he's gonna show them the way, like on how he treats his talent or his workers. You know.
Yeah,
I think I would like to see Andrade versus Pac. I mean, that would be a fun match.
that would
You
be
know.
great.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens.
All right. So I think that will do it for us. We got some exciting
Wait, wait,
stuff
wait. We have
going.
one more news. We have one more news. We haven't really talked about the rumors of Brian Danielson.
Oh yes, the American Dragon.
You know, like there's rumors that he's signing so that way he can come to AEW and then he could work New Japan. I mean, that's what the reports are saying because also
Mhm.
that's why WWE was trying to be in talks with New Japan so that way they can keep Daniel Bryan, but he can go to New Japan. But
AEW's
you
got
know,
that later work schedule too.
yeah, exactly. He could just work on a Wednesday. I mean, they're disappointed. WWE is very like sad that he left. Like they thought that he was going to be a lifer, but
I saw a couple reports that said the T execs on WWE side are upset that they lost Daniel Bryan too.
of course, I think one exec said that because he was like family friendly and like he was a great merch seller. So
Oh yeah,
like I think Daniel Bryan, I think here's the thing. He's much about wrestling. He's not about character work. Not too
yeah.
much, you know? He's more about the wrestling. Like if you watch like his Ring of Honor stuff, he wasn't really into character. It was more about his wrestling, you know? And like he
Mm-hmm.
wants to wrestle everybody and anybody that whenever he can, you know? So like and like he even didn't want to even come to WWE. Like when he first said it, like when he first did some interviews, he's like, I wasn't planning to come to WWE. They were interested in me, so I signed, I mean his life changed for the better, of course,
Lots of money.
of course. I mean,
$50 million.
yeah, everybody's motivated for money. So I mean,
Yeah, like Ted DiBiase said, everybody's got a price.
hmm so it's just like I don't know what's this new generation of wrestlers are going to be like. How it's going to be in the next 5 years. Like, is it going to be like, oh, should I go to AEW or should I go to WWE? Should I change my character or should I keep my character and work anywhere that I want? You know, So there's options now that they can do. So we're still see.
I mean, even you got Impact is pulling in wrestlers. NWA is pulling in a few people. I mean, you just don't know anywhere. There's a couple big places that are up for grabs. Pretty much, I can take anybody.
hmm No way, Jose just came back. He came back on an Impact pay per view.
Saw that.
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering where he's been. Like, I mean, like, I know that I think his girlfriend or his wife just had a baby. I think I don't know. So I mean, he's been out for a while, And
Mm-hmm.
like Eric Rowan, I think he's doing like uh an event soon. Soon a lot of the releases, where's the Iconics? Where's Ruby Soho? Now she's being called Ruby Riot. Where's Lana? Um,
I did see a report they're bringing back some celebrity reality show Lana's going to be on.
oh, the Surreal Life.
Yes.
Yeah, so
CJ
she
Perry is
could,
going to be on the Surreal Life, so
but
I
she
think
could
we'll
still
see
be in
that.
wrestling. She could
Yeah.
still be in wrestling. You never know. I mean, she could be like in AEW, just doing like some, I mean, her, her, her path in wrestling could be, she could come in every now and then to be in AEW. If she wants to be like a true wrestler, then I mean, she could go into the indies if she wanted to, or she could just be like, like a model slash actress, because
I wonder if
she's
she
done
signed
some
on
good
to
work.
this. What if she signed on to do this real life just because there's got to wait for her no compete clause to expire? I mean, that might be a reason.
Yeah, that could be it too, because it's in September. Hers. Oh yeah, Ruby's is in September. So the ones that are already like cleared, they already probably already debuted, I think, or they're about to debut soon.
Vicky Guerrero is really pulling for Ruby to be in AEW. So we'll see what kind of pulse she has.
Yeah, I know, right? Because like I think she even wants to create a stable herself. So
Mhm.
we'll see. They need. I think they do need more women there, and I think they need to start doing women's factions because like that's unique. There's a rare occasion that there's ever women's faction. I can't even think of in the history. Like,
There's only one. I think it was in WWE. Was it Bad something? I can't.
oh, Team Bad you're talking about?
Team Bad, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was in the time where they brought in all the NXT girls like Charlotte and Sasha.
I mean,
Um,
AEW did try it in the beginning with Brandy and Awesome Kong and Mel, but that failed miserably.
well, I mean, come on.
Different
Yeah,
reasons, but
you know,
people
because
can.
I mean Mel, I mean like where's Mel? Like she can come back. I mean, she could go to AEW, come back to AEW maybe. Like now that there's a few roster of girls, I mean, she could probably go to NWA. Maybe she just retired. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I just saw Ring of Honor brought in Lena Yada from like Diva Search. It was a very random team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like thinking like Maria Kanellis probably has like all the girls from Diva Search numbers. Like,
Yeah.
she could literally bring some of them back. Like maybe Candice Michelle maybe wanna I mean, I know she retired, but I don't know if she wants to put
You
on the
never
boots
know.
again.
A couple appearances, you never know.
Exactly. Brooke Hogan. Brooke Hogan, I don't know if she wants to get into wrestling. She's in her 30s, right? I think she's ready.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Kira Hogan's a free agent too, so
yeah, that's true. hmm and I know that Britt decided that she needed some help, quote unquote. So maybe she could bring in a few girls. We'll
mhm.
see.
All right. Well, that will do it for us now. Here on Elite Talk Show. Of course, it's these from the bottom. Don't forget to check us out on our Apple Podcast. Subscribe, give it 5 stars. We really appreciate it. Check us out on
Yes.
Facebook, our page and our group where you can interact with us. We have our merch store, shopbucklebomb.com. And of course, you can find me at the real Sarah BBE on Twitter, Bucklebomb at BuckleBombENT.
And
Orlando.
you can follow me at Twitter at Orly1985_BBE. Go ahead and give me a follow.
And of course, Sunday will be our first edition of a new monthly show. It'll be the first weekend every month. It's going to be Retro Rewind, where we go back and watch some old pay-per-views, maybe even Raw, SmackDowns, or ECW shows, or whatever. Just go back,
hmm
watch it, see if it still holds up, see if it's still good. The
Yep.
first edition this Sunday, we'll have a time for you, before the weekend, of course. Probably sometime late afternoon, early evening. What we're going to do SummerSlam 2002 this weekend, which should be a good show. That was main evented by The Rock and Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, and that they say that that's like the best top to bottom pay-per-view of all time, SummerSlam. So I mean, this year's SummerSlam pay-per-view could be the Steeler. When we'll see. Like,
I mean, everybody's got personal taste, which one's going to be the best, but that one certainly is up there.
hmm
But
yeah,
find out what we think as we go back and watch it again this Sunday. Have a good
yep.
night, everyone.
Bye.